see Christmas through your eyes. I wanna see Christmas.
We're about ready to start with North Carolina.
Well, we feel very fortunate. I didn't think we played exceptionally well in the second half. I was pretty pleased with what we did in the first half, and I thought that the thing that killed us in the first half continued killing us in the second was that points off offensive rebounds. They had 12 points each half off of offensive rebounds, and it was big for them down the stretch. I thought we'd get an initial stop, and they'd still get the rebound and put it back in. They played harder at times, smarter at times, had a better coach on the court at times, but we made some nice plays, made some free throws, and did some things at the end that let us win. I think it was a one-point game. Marcus made a little jumper, and then I think it was a three-point game when he made another little teardrop or whatever you want to call it, floater. I think PJ playing 36 minutes. It's the first time he's ever heard me say this. He was one tough sucker today. He's been a pansy most of the time I've known him, but today he was one tough sucker, and I think his hand bothered him a little bit. He plays 36 minutes and he's 3 for 10, and he had some good looks. But at the same time, I think that what he helped us do out there on the court was extremely important, and I do believe that was a tough performance for him, the toughness that he showed today. And it's not fun playing with Marcus and James Michael sitting on the sidelines in foul trouble, but it's what it was. And so James Michael made 2 big free throws for us, and then we had Marcus and PJ on the line, and I have a great deal of confidence in them. And they made some, didn't make all of them by any means, but and then we got fortunate the last play. If they had attacked immediately, we were not going to foul, but if we had a chance at around the 5-second mark, we were going to foul and try to take the three-pointer away from them. But it didn't get to that, and I think it was Reggie got the rebound.
Yeah, Reggie.
I think Reggie got the rebound and then did a nice job of getting it to PJ, and PJ kept it away from them, and that was basically it. So we're very pleased with the W and know we can play a heck of a lot better, and we have to play a lot better, getting ready to play somebody who's beaten us twice by about 8 million points.
Questions?
Or close.
Toward left.
This one's for Coach. Maryland kept fighting and fighting, but you guys were able to hang on at the end of the game. Talk about the resilience that your team had late in the second half.
Well, we had 2 or 3 stretches. You know, we have a 12 or 13-point lead, and then we made a huge mistake on an out-of-bounds underneath where Marcus decided he would guard Alex Lynn and let James Michael guard Des Wells, and that's not a real good matchup. And so they make 3, and then we come down and kick it away a couple of times, but then we made some plays. They made a huge run at us, and Leslie made a big 3 in the corner across from our bench, and I think Reggie made a big 3 on the wing over there at that point. So there were 2 or 3 times that they made big runs at us that we had enough in the tank to come back at them, and it was huge for us. But again, I think James Michael's free throws, Marcus' little baskets, and then we had enough at the end left to get it done.
Let's address the questions for the players first, and please let us know a specific player. Front row.
But you deserve it.
PJ, could you kind of go through the timeline a little bit as to, from last night when you got it stitched up to this morning to today as to, when you started to think that you might be able to play and how it felt? And then, Coach, I know it may be apples and oranges, but what is the difference between, him playing with the injury this year and maybe John last year? Is there any kind of correlation to maybe the chances of winning this tournament as opposed to the next one or anything like that?
PJ?
Well, first, Coach has never called me a tough sucker, so.
But he was today.
Well, last night, I thought I was going to die, honestly. I was in the training room. My mom held my hand, but they told me, they said, we're going to clean it out. We're going to put stitches on you. I'm like, okay, it's not that bad. So as soon as the soap and the alcohol touched me, I kind of screamed for my life. But
see, I told you.
No, but after everything was stitched up, of course it was a little sore last night. I got medicine from the trainer and team doctor, and they asked me how I felt this morning, and everything felt fine. Well, of course sore, but coming to the gym, Coach said, okay, I'm going to talk to you in warm-ups. Get out the warm-ups, and I was catching the ball. Before we came out the warm-ups, I was in the locker room throwing passes back to me and Dexter back and forth, and coming out in the warm-ups, it felt fine. Like I was catching the ball fine. My shot was going in. It wasn't anything different, so I felt fine.
I have no idea what my part of the question was.
Compared to last year.
Oh, compared to last year.
John out. And, you had the makeup of your team gave you a much better chance in the next tournament. The makeup of this team maybe be a little bit less cautious?
Well, John's injury didn't allow him to play. PJ's injury did allow him to play. John was never the same John Henson, regardless of the fact that he came back and played 2 games in the NCAA tournament. He was still not John Henson. PJ today wasn't what we've seen from PJ, but he was still able to play. So John's injury was longer lasting. It was a bigger effect on our team because he couldn't play. And then when he did come back in, he was much more limited even than PJ was today, I think. But PJ his couple of his shots didn't go in. He had 2 great ones right in front of our bench, and I liked his toughness there because he missed the first one. It came back to him, and he shot it again, because you need to have that confidence. But to me, they're really, really different, both of them.
Next question for Marcus or PJ?
PJ, toward the end of the game, you seemed to stop shooting. Had you ever done that before in your life?
No. But shot wasn't falling, and we wanted to have a great shot offense towards the end because it got closer, and Maryland brought it closer. So we didn't want to force anything. We just wanted to keep the ball moving and try to run some clock off and try to get a great shot.
To our right.
For Marcus, you hit 2 big shots there down the stretch after sitting out about 6 minutes with foul trouble. Did you feel the need to come in and kind of assert yourself offensively?
I didn't really feel the need to, but we're trying to get a great shot, and things broke down in a couple late clock situations. So I felt like I had to try to make a play and be aggressive. And then they didn't send another defender. Our guys recovered, so I just tried to be aggressive and take advantage of that opportunity. But I was out on the bench for a while, but I didn't feel the need to come in and try to force the issue. I just kind of let the game come to me, and a couple opportunities presented themselves.
In front of us.
PJ, about 5 seconds left. There might have been an opportunity for one of your signature dunks. Did you hear your coach's voice in your head to pull up instead and look for Marcus to pass to?
Are you talking about the very last second when I dribbled down?
Very end of the game, looked like you could have dunked, but you wisely pulled up instead.
Well, at the same time, I was thinking about my hand, so I was trying to just stop. But I figured we didn't need another point. I just wanted to pull it out. I think I would have did it even if Coach wouldn't have told me so.
He's getting brighter.
Front row.
For both of the players, given the way that this season started, what would being able to cut down the nets tomorrow mean to you guys?
Marcus?
It'd mean a lot. We've had some ups and downs this year, and we went through a period where we struggled, and a lot of people kind of doubted us. But the great thing about that is we stuck together as a team, and we finally started getting things clicking. So to get a chance to play Miami tomorrow, who's beating us, like Coach said, pretty badly, and have a chance to cut down the nets and be ACC tournament championship, win an ACC tournament championship would just be. It'd be awesome to see the whole season come full circle like that going into the NCAA tournament.
PJ.
He took the words right out of my mouth. But like he said, everyone had doubts in us at the beginning of the season. We started 0-2. Then we went down to Florida State and had a big win, a tough win for us, and went out and played hard. And it seemed like from there we just kind of started clicking. Of course, we lost a couple games to Miami, but we didn't let that – well, we let it affect us, but we didn't let it affect us on the court. Once we started clicking together and playing as a team and just playing North Carolina basketball, that's when everything came together and we started playing with this different intensity and sense of urgency.
In front of us.
This is to the coach, but the players can answer too. What can you do differently against Miami after losing to them already?
Play better. Make some shots. Hopefully not give them open shots. They kicked us pretty hard down at their place, so hopefully we'll get some fresh legs underneath us between now and whatever time we're supposed to play tomorrow. That'll be 40 minutes. Hey, tomorrow we won't start 40 minutes late like we have every game in the afternoon session. So the game will probably be on time tomorrow. I guess we'll have to make plans to do that. But we just have to play better. I mean, they're a heck of a basketball team. They deserve everything, all the special things that have been saying about them. They've got scores at every position. Kaji's a tremendously difficult matchup. Gamble and Big Reggie inside are a load on the backboards. Shane Larkin's had as good a year as any point guard in college basketball. Duran Scott today was off the charts. Trey gives them another shooter. Rion Brown comes off the bench, gives them another shooter. I mean, they're a big-time team, and they've shown it all year long.
Back of the room.
Coach, how would you assess the way that Dexter and Leslie handled the offense while Marcus was out with foul trouble?
And I'll answer that question. Does anybody else have any questions for our guys? They smell bad up here. They need to get a shower.
Good. Last question for the players.
Okay, thank you.
Marcus, I actually want to ask you about Dexter. Tell me about, first of all, the way that he's played today, but also just the leadership he's brought to this team this season.
He's been great. He's kind of our senior leader. The guy's been around for a while. He understands what Coach wants, and he's understood that since day one, which has kind of helped me, especially coming in and trying to learn the system. And, even today he did a great job because he's able to play both guard spots, which has helped me tremendously. In times when I've struggled, we can go to somebody as sure-handed as Dexter, and he's done a great job of leading this team. So, if I have to sit out in foul trouble or something goes wrong like that, Dexter does a great job of sliding over to the one and running the offense.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
See you tomorrow. Questions for Coach?
All right,
First
what was the
question.
question back there again about Dexter and Leslie while Marcus was out? Is that the question? I think they really did a nice job. We had one turnover, and then Dexter tried to stop the fast break high, and that added another mistake to the turnover that he made. But other than that, I think we did a good job handling the ball. Leslie only made one field goal, but it was a big field goal. But he goes to the free throw line for us and makes 6 out of 6 free throws. So those were big plays for us. Dexter missed 2 shots in a row when we ran the shot clock down, but other than that, he shot the ball well. So I think that both of them really did a good job for us. We need Leslie to do something more than 1 for 7 from the floor. There's no question about that. But he busted his tail defensively and goes 6 for 6 from the line. And then, as I said, Dexter 7 for 12, and so it means he was 7 for 10 before those last 2 shots. But I thought both of them were crucial for us.
Roy, I know you and Mark are close. What have you seen out of the development of his team in the 3 times you've played them this year?
Well, guys, it's strange because they had almost a new team last year. I mean, a new coach and a couple of guys, and it's almost a completely new team this year. I just think he's done an outstanding job. It's a hard job. Coaching in the ACC is not easy. You have everybody's an expert and the criticism and the whole bit, but he's one of the toughest individuals I've ever been around. I honestly thought that he did a better job second half with his club than I did with mine, and I just have a great deal of respect and care and love for the guy, but he's one of the toughest competitors I've ever seen in my life, and he's going to do a wonderful job at Maryland and has this year.
Second row.
Coach, you've talked about that loss at Miami by, I think in your words, by 400 points, and that preceding the lineup switch. Does this group match up any better, do you think, or what are the challenges with this matchup that are maybe different?
It seems like it was so long ago, but except my memory of looking at that clock and seeing the score as I walked off the court. And the way I felt during the game is that we had no control over anything. Smaller lineup has helped us. We're a better basketball team. Is it the world beater, and is it the newest thing that ever happened or the best thing that ever happened? No. I mean, we get, again today, 24-4 on offensive rebounds. So we've got some deficiencies there, but it was the best thing for this team. And whether it presents any different problems for them, we'll have to wait and see what happens tomorrow.
Middle of the room.
Roy, on that last Maryland three-point attempt, were you expecting Logan to get the ball? Did you kind of know to look for something like that?
No, we talked about 2 scenarios. We hoped that we'd get them to throw it towards the center line and not towards the baseline. If when they got the ball originally, especially if we made them throw it in the back, we were not going to foul. But if we got them to take 3 or 4 seconds before they shot it, then we were going to try to foul, as I said, when it got to the 5-second mark. But they ran that play. I think he was the 3rd guy coming around. And I think he rushed it a little bit probably too. I don't think that our defense really made him take that rush shot. But if they had gotten it down to 5 seconds or so, we were going to try to foul and make them shoot from the free throw line and not take a 3. But I didn't know that specific play that they were going to run. When they started running the play, it looked like that's what was going to happen, and we were yelling at the guys then, but that's after the play had already started.
Coach, coming into today, Des Wells had been about as dominant and aggressive as any player in this tournament. And by my count, Reggie Bullock kept him without a point for the first 14 minutes of the game. How do you quantify the importance of that?
Well, I think it was important, but Des almost carried them all the way back at the end, too. I grabbed him, told him he had a phenomenal performance for 3 days here, build on that. But we couldn't get him slowed. We were trying to slow him down, and we couldn't get guys back fast enough to help Reggie. And it's hard to guard Des when he's in the open court coming at you full speed. But you look at Reggie's line, he's 6 for 10, 3 for 6 on three-point line, 15 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, and 0 turnovers. That's a big-time line. Reggie Bullock did some great things for us.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you. See you tomorrow, Coach. Okay, we're about to start with Maryland.
All right. Needless to say, I'm really proud of my group. We were dead at the start of the game. We just had no energy whatsoever. Emotional win last night. You know, beating the number 2 team in the country in North Carolina. And, you know, we all tried to sleep last night, but none of us probably slept very much, to be quite honest with you. But we never quit today. We missed a ton of layups. You know, balls bounced out of our hands to them and, you know, led to layups for them and things, but we just never quit. And we had a shot at the buzzer to tie it, you know, against a team that's won 7 out of 8, I believe, or 8 out of 9, and really playing well. And I can't be more proud. I'm really proud of this guy right here next to me, just his growth in the last 3 weeks. You know, I've just been on Nick so hard about growing up and becoming a basketball player, and he's just had a great 2 weeks, and I couldn't be more proud of our group. Came up a little short, but sometimes you don't win on the scoreboard, but you win, and we won today as a program. Our program got better.
Front row.
Mark, on the last play, was it your hope to get that shot in that situation immediately, trying to avoid a situation where they would foul, and was Logan the guy who was the first option there?
Yeah, absolutely. And Logan's a pretty good shooter, and we all have a lot of confidence in him. He was 48% from 3 a couple weeks ago. Hadn't shot as well lately. Got him a good look. If he just would have curled it a little bit tighter. Alex had a great screen. It's hard to get an open 3 late in the game, and we actually got one. And, you know, execution was tremendous. The amazing thing is that we put ourselves in that position to be there, to have a chance to do that. So I think we all thought Logan was going to make it. You know, we were talking about after he made it, you know, make sure we got our men going back on defense, cup the ball, and don't let them score so we can get into overtime. I mean, that's how confident we were. We were talking about what we're going to do after he made it. So didn't make it. But execution was good, and that's what you ask for as a coach.
Yeah, Mark, do you feel like your team has hit a new level here in Greensboro? And if you do believe that, does it make it frustrating if you don't make the NCAA tournament and continue to show what you can do?
Well, unfortunately, in today's world, you get judged on whether you make that tournament or not. But I'm judging us on where our program was when I took the job and where it is today, where we were 2 months ago, where we were a month ago, and where we are today. It's really how I'm going to judge it. You know, a month ago, I'm not sure I wanted this season to keep going. These guys were tough to coach. Now I'm just having a blast coaching them. I'm having so much fun because they're listening. You, Jeff, you're with us. I mean, come on. What this group's done in the last 3 weeks is pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing.
Nick, you were the inbounds passer on the last shot. It looked like Dez curled around first, and then Seth Allen followed him. Can you go through that and explain why you couldn't, what they did to prevent you from getting the ball to them and made you throw it to the other player?
Well, that was just the way, you know, Coach drew it up. They were just distractions to get Logan a wide open shot, and we felt as though that, you know, Logan's a great shooter, so him taking the shot was the best shot for the team.
Any other questions?
Wow, we waited 20 minutes for that.
All right, thank you.